You know what the crazy thing about this movie is? The name of Jeff Daniels' character in this movie has the same name as Zac Efron's character in Neighbors. So I guess this is a sequel to Neighbors because in Neighbors he went to night school and then 15 years later he became Jeff Daniels. I would like to see a movie like that. I buy that. The Martian is directed by Ridley Scott and stars a huge cast led by Matt Damon. This is about an astronaut, Mark Watney, played by Matt Damon, who gets stranded on Mars after his crew abandons him thinking he's dead, and they realize, holy shit, he's still alive, and he has to find a way to survive because there's a lot of time that goes on between traveling from Earth to Mars, and yeah, he's got to make the best of it, and he's like the most optimistic person ever, and yeah, The Martian. It's also based on a very popular book, which I read the first 60 pages to. I didn't even remember anything from the book, which was actually good because I went into this movie being like someone, hey, I don't know what's going to happen, so yeah, let's experience The Martian. I was super pumped for this movie because it looked fantastic from the trailers. Love the cast. Matt Damon is like my second favorite actor. Working today behind DiCaprio, I just love watching that man on screen. I think he's a great actor, and I also think he's a great writer for one of my favorite films of all time, Good Will Hunting, which he won the Oscar for, of course. And I've been hearing nothing but great things about this movie ever since it premiered at TIFF last month. And like I said, it's directed by Ridley Scott, who hasn't had the best career in the last few years. I mean, Counselor? Oh! Exodus, Gods and Kings? Nope. So I was hoping that this would be a comeback for him, and it is his comeback. This is his best film in a very long time. It's one of his best films. It might just be the best film I've seen this year so far. I adore The Martian. I had such a great time with it. I came out of the theater. I've seen this movie with a big, gigantic smile. I loved this movie, guys. This movie was amazing. Not only was it a great sci-fi film, not only was it a great Ridley Scott film, it was a great film. Holy shit, this film was awesome. Visually, let's start with the visuals. Visuals are fantastic. This is a shoo-in for best visual effects. Will it win? I have no fucking clue. But the visuals are amazing. There's a lot of practical effects in this movie, which I love. And that's usually what Ridley Scott likes to do. He loves more practical than CGI. The CGI in this movie is flawless. It's very seamless. It's perfect. It's so good. I saw it in 3D. Go see it in 3D, guys. The 3D is worth it. I'm telling you that right off the bat. The acting was terrific. Matt Damon, like I said, the guy continues to give us great performances. This is one of the best performances he's ever given in his entire career. Some people say he could get an Oscar nomination. You know what? If he got an Oscar nomination, I wouldn't mind that. This performance of Mark Watney is like a mix of Chuck Nolan from Castaway and Jim Wall from Apollo 13. Ironically, those are both Tom Hanks characters. But seriously, this is one of the best performances he's ever given. The movie is very funny. Like, it's not only is it very like intense and gripping, but it's a very funny movie. It's funnier than most of the comedies we've had this year. And I'm being honest, like, this movie was really hilarious. It might be the funniest film I've seen this year so far. And Damon pulled off the comedic scenes very well. He just has that great vibe to him. Like, don't you want to hang out with Matt Damon? Like, he's one of those guys that could pull off an honest, sweet guy very well, but then he can also play a villain very well. The guy's fantastic. Everyone else did great. My babe, Jessica Chastain, killed it in this movie. You know, the first time she was on screen, I'm like, babe. Guys, if you know me, you would understand my love for Jessica Chastain. She's a very beautiful woman, and she's such a talented actress. She should have won the Oscar for Zero Dark 30. But everyone else killed it. Jeff Daniels was great. Sebastian was great. Michael Peña was great. Kristen Wiig was great. Sean Bean was great. Chiwetel Ejiofor killed it here. I love that guy. I'm so happy to see that this guy is now becoming big. When he did 12 Years a Slave, everyone started to know him, and I'm proud of that because he is a freaking great actor. He's so good. And everyone else killed it in this movie. There was not one bad performance in this movie. The writing by Drew Goddard, the guy who wrote and directed Cabin in the Woods, was great. I think the script could get nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay. The dialogue was fantastic here in this movie. Ridley Scott's direction was so tight. The movie was almost 2.5 hours long, but it did not feel that way at all. It went by that quick. I was so engaged while watching this movie. But I do love how the story ties in together. It's like 3 movies. You got Matt Damon on Mars, you got the NASA crew traveling back to Earth, and then you got the team of NASA on Earth. Like, figuring out what to do, and it's so good. Every character has their shining moment Even the characters that are only in the movie for like a few minutes, like Donald Glover's character, for instance. And it works so well because this movie knows what it wants to do, and really, Scott really did a great job. Do I have any problems with this movie? No, I don't. Here's why. Because this movie did its job right. It had a great story. It had great writing. It had terrific acting, awesome direction, intriguing visuals, awesome 3D, and it was very well paced. Even though it was a very long film, there might be people out there who feel the pace. I personally didn't because I was so engaged from beginning to end. I adore The Martian. Guys, please go see this movie. Go see it in 3D. This film gets an A+. It's currently competing with Inside Out as my favorite film of the year so far. So The Martian, great film. Loved it. Guys, please check it out. Tell me down below what you thought of the movie if you've seen it. What is your favorite Ridley Scott film? My favorite is American Gangster. That's my personal favorite film. This film ranks up high in my top 5 Ridley Scott films because this is the first great film of his in like years, probably since Gladiator, maybe. The film that could be labeled as a classic. I mean, seriously, guys, go see The Martian. It's terrific. And also tell me what your favorite Matt Damon film and performance is. My favorite Matt Damon film would probably have to be The Departed. My favorite performance, Will Hunting and Good Will Hunting. Guys, thank you so much for watching this review, and I'll see you guys soon.